Hey guys, this is GG. I've only done this once, but I'm gonna do it again. I took bad advice from someone who says, "Hey Gilbert, this movie is the greatest. It's going to win Picture of the Year. Yada yada yada. You got to go see it." I kind of looked at it a little bit. I didn't read the reviews. Oh my god! If you want to die, if you plan on committing suicide, this is the movie you want to go, and it'll help you push you over the edge. If you're, and I'm not joking around. If you're a crack addict and you need a place to do crack where nobody's gonna like pay attention to you because they're so like disgust, they're just they have their own problems. They're like, oh, he's just sick and bent over, with the crank, the with all the drugs because he's watching the movie. That's where you want to go. I mean, this movie is the worst of the worst. I mean, this movie is like that where you want to commit suicide. You're like, should I kill myself now or should I let this movie continue going for a little bit more? The Nickel Boys. If you do not want to kill yourself, don't take sharp objects like this samurai did because you might get the urge to kill yourself. Here's a scene of the movie. Uh, Honest to God, this is how I felt when I was watching the movie. Like this Japanese guy right here to your right, the right with I felt like this guy right here. That's me watching the movie. This is how bad it is. And I want to show you another, and let's get a little bit serious because that was not, I'm being serious. That is not an exaggeration. Look at this. Check this out. The Nickel Boys review. If you type that in on YouTube, two gay homosexuals, Nick and Joseph. Hey, it's not, I don't care if you're gay, but you listen to these guys and like, oh yeah, I like the movie. It's just I listened to about 20 seconds of it. It's like, oh my God, I was getting ready to throw up. How it's just bad. Not because they're gay, but because they can't see how bad this movie was. And right here, the Nickel Boys with these famous movie review people, this goes to show that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. These two white people don't want to say anything bad about the movie because it's about black suffering in the jail right in Florida, but white people suffer there too, although not as bad. But I'm kind of offended because what the hey, I'm a Mexican. And look at here, we got a black and a white homosexual. I'm a Mexican. And I was highly offended that the guy that was getting raped all the time was a Mexican. The Mexican was getting raped in this movie. I'm highly offended as a Mexican about how bad. I'm not joking around. This is a bad, bad movie. I'll tell you one of the reasons why it was also so bad. This movie was so disgusting, so bad. It's like when you ever have a conversation with somebody and then they're always interrupting, and you can never really have a conversation because the conversation is always being interrupted. And that's what they did in the movie. In the movie, they're trying to show something in the movie, and then they interrupt to like, oh, JFK being assassinated, or Martin Luther King, or the space landing, kind of to let you know that there's a what part of the time frame of American history this was taking place in. But son of a Jezebel, one after another, another picture, another movie clip, another stupid YouTube clip, another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. The whole freaking movie is interrupted on a constant basis. There's no flow. And go to hell, all you people with the cinematography shit. You can go buy an iPhone 16 and produce better quality cinematography than this movie. I'm telling you guys, listen, I'm going to put it right here in the comment section. If you need therapy after having watched this movie, I can help. I will have to charge you a fee. Listen, my email's still working. My YouTube page, my website page is down, but you can still email me at gg4gb.com if you are being encouraged by your significant other to go watch this movie. You're going to be out $50, $60, $70. I got a better idea. Why don't you just PayPal me at gg4gb.com? Send me $5. I will save you a shitload of money. And you'll go to sleep happy saying, oh my God, I just paid Gilbert $5, but I saved so much money, and the emotional torture of having to watch this shit It was a great story. It was a true story. It was a great story, great book. But the director turned it to shit. And all of the people in those comment sections, they're the same people. Honest to God. Oh my God. You guys are not going to believe me, but honest to God, the people that say that a man can be a woman and a woman can be a man and they're transgenders, look at those two gay guys. "Oh, the movie was great. Oh." They can't even tell the difference between a man and a woman. And 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 they're going to say that this movie was great. This movie goes to show the insane versus the sane. It's not a movie. I don't know what the it is. I have no idea what all I know is I'm out money and I've never asked anybody for donations. But son of a Jezebel, please consider giving me some money. I want restitution. I want my money back. I mean, this is the worst movie. I don't. What's the movie about? The movie's about 2.5 hours of pure, unadulterated hell, of non-stop interruption. There's no flow. It's kind of like me talking to you. You're trying to get a word in edgewise. I'm constantly interrupting you, and there's no conversation. That's the movie. They're trying to tell a story about a kid that was done wrong by the justice system. He was hitchhiked, right? He got on a car, he hitchhiked, but the police were looking for the driver, and so you're guilty by association. So his whole life went bad, in this sadistic Florida prison. And because of JFK and his assassination and the civil rights movement, there was, there's trying to do reforms, and the governments know, hey, we got to clean up our prison system. And this is just a sadistic hellhole, right? Where people just go and they just disappear. It doesn't matter. The director of this movie destroyed. Imagine you have a book and it's called Pride and Prejudice. Because in this movie, they have the book Pride and Prejudice. But let's say you have the Three Musketeers, a book, Three Musketeers. You have a book, right? Lawrence of Arabia. Great books. And then you get a director like this who completely wipes his ass on that book and presents it to you as a movie. It is the most, and all you have to do is go look at those other reviews, those comments, and the people that are praising. It's all beautiful words, but it's meaningless. They're the same people that will tell you that men can be women, breastfeed, and give birth. I'm telling you, guys, I'm not exaggerating how bad this movie was. The lighting was, listen, I went to Home Depot and I bought this light for $9.99. $9. You think that they would have a better budget? The music was horrific. You close your eyes and you start listening to the score. It was disgusting. It made me feel like shit. I wanted to throw up after the movie, but I held it until I went home. Then I threw up in here. I'm not exaggerating. This is bad. And I feel like a public service that I have to do to let you know how bad it is. Now, if you're dating somebody, right, a man or a woman, and I would totally, I would discourage you completely from watching this movie. But if you take your girlfriend, your boyfriend, and they like this movie, you're gonna get divorced and have a very bad life. I'm honest. This is not an exaggeration. God as my witness, honest to God. If your significant other likes this movie, you got problems. You got problems. This is bad in every level. You have a great story, great storyline, you can hit a grand slam with this movie because it shows man's inhumanity to man and how the good old boy white system in the South, the Civil War, the people, they hated the blacks, man. They just hated the blacks. And you know what? The blacks had a lot of they have a point. The Mexicans too, because the Mexican was constantly being raped in this movie. And kudos to the movie when they showed the the white prisoner suffered as well, but they weren't treated as bad. And another thing, So in this movie, the main character. So what happens is like the movie's like this. The movie's like a guy with a cell phone, right? And the cameraman, the cinematographer, bullshit. See, a man, you can't call a man, a woman, a woman. They call the guy, the director, cinematographer. Bullshit. There was no cinematography because the camera was the like me recording this. So you're like, when you're watching the movie, it's like, oh, I'm trying to see it through the eyes of Gilbert. But no, sometimes it's through the eyes of this guy, sometimes it's through the eyes of that guy. You're like, who the hell is operating this damn camera? It's stupid in every sense. There was no consistency. And then there's a scene in the movie about a bar. So this guy who's the main character, and you can't see his face, it's always the back. And sometimes I don't know if it's a guy, I don't know if it's a girl because they have the braids, right? And but anyways, so yeah, and not an offense. It's just you're watching a movie. Am I looking at a guy? Am I looking at a girl? I'm looking at the braids, and then he starts to talk, or there's a little side thing. Okay, it's the guy. I don't know. Then there's later on there's a girl, and she has her hair, black girl, and then you're like, okay, I know she's a girl. But that's what I'm saying is it's so freaking confusing, and then it's dark. You're like, what the? I mean, who's in charge of this shit? I tell you what, guys, Democrats who don't know the difference between a man and a woman, but in the bar scene, the main character is already out, right? He's been out of this prison, so it's like the 1990s. So he used to be in prison in the '63 era, when they shot Kennedy. So he's in the bar like in the '80s, '90s, and some guy comes into the bar and he recognizes them as, hey, they were cellies, right? They were cellies. And they're having this conversation. I have no idea what the conversation is about. It doesn't make any sense. I got to pick up and go take a piss, and he's gone 30 days without drinking alcohol, and the first thing he does is drink whiskey. It makes absolutely no sense. And then to add insult to injury, the next scene is they go back to the childhood when he's like 6 years old. Then he goes back when he's 13, and then when he's like 70. Like they're all over the map. There's no freaking consistency. You don't know what the hell. You have no idea what the hell the director's trying to say. What's the point? Where's the direction? Where's the flow? I'm saving you guys. I'm saving you mental torment. Now, I wasted a lot of money, and is there anybody out there with deep pockets that you would pay me? I would go back and watch it, but it would cost $200. If you give me $200, I'll go back and watch it, and I will write down every single time there was an interruption in the movie, an interruption, and those interruptions disturb the flow. It had to. It was all throughout the movie. It made absolutely no sense. And then even the end of the movie, when they're kind of showing like the news reports from the news that is showing that they're uncovering the earth and they're just finding all of these dead bodies, unmarked graves in the prison. There's no closure at the end. Like, have you ever seen those movies where at the end of the movie they bring you closure, like with the Schindler's List or whatever, and then it'll say, Schindler did this, and he saved so many people, but they kind of give you a breakdown of the whole story and what the ending was. You're left like, what the hell did I just see? You didn't even tell me, like, hey, this happened in this city, this state, yada, yada, yada. These are the number of bodies that were found, yada, yada. These are the people that went to jail, that were prosecuted or not. There was nothing like that. You get that in other movies, but not in this one. I'm telling you, this is the kind of movie you go see if you're on suicide watch and you're afraid to jump off the bridge. This is it. Yeah, this is it. Now, Gigi, careful with the ladies present. Okay, Beverly, I saw it. It was awful. The worst movie I've ever seen. Yeah, it was. I stuck around. I wanted to leave way before, but I stuck around and I thought, I got to make a movie of this. In our business, we help people with religious cult experience, and we help them cope. There's a lot of people that are going to be screwed up mentally, and you're going to be like, what happened? Well, I watched this movie, The Nickel Boys, or my girlfriend watched it and she liked it. Yeah. And listen, guys, listen, I don't care, man. I don't give a shit. Right here, I don't give a shit. Look at this. Gay homosexuals, Nick and Joseph. They give spoiler alert. They talk about this, and they talk and um no, I watched about 20 seconds of that shit, and it's like it's proof that liberalism is a mental disorder. You have to be mentally of not sound mind to have liked this movie. There's nothing redeemable about this movie. There was no great cinematography that somebody could do with an iPhone 16. The editing was terrible. The constant interruptions of just it's like imagine me no uh imagine me talking to you, right? I'm talking to you right now, and I'm talking to you right now. I'm talking about the movie, right? This is the movie, right? Shit like this in the movie. And it's a little exaggeration, but it's almost identical. So you're watching this movie, you're watching me talk, and I'm part of the movie, right? And then out of nowhere, you started seeing shit like this. You're like, what the hell's this one? What's happening? And you're like, Gilbert, I thought I'm listening to you. I'm watching the movie, and I'm showing you shit like this. Like I cut and I add that to the movie, and you're like, what the hell does that have to do with the movie? Gilbert, what the hell does that have to do with the conversation? That's what they do all throughout the movie. I want my money back. I think I'm going to send this to Harkins. I want my money back. And I want to help others who are suffering emotional trauma for having watched this movie. You can email me at ggforgb.com. If you have deep pockets, if you please, I've never ever asked you for donations, but please donate, because I am in need of therapy after watching this. I mean, I one of my shirts was, I think ruined because of the acid and when I threw up, so that's going to cost $40. I could use some donations. Never have I ever thought I was going to ask for donations. But if you were to watch this movie, son of a Jezebel, you would ask for donations. You would petition Donald Trump and want reparations. Oh, God. God, this is bad. I'm not exaggerating. You're like, yeah, but why the hell would you talk like this about a movie? Trust me, man. I will have saved your soul. You know how people are trying to save you for Jesus? I will save you if I keep you from watching this movie. If your girlfriend, and you haven't married your girlfriend, and she likes this movie, you're gonna say, "Damn, Gilbert's right." You know, if your wife likes it, you might want to consult a divorce attorney. I'm just saying, that's how bad it is. Um, yeah, I know. Why didn't you watch an old movie? I came in just out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Take your word. So, guys, if if you want, again, in recap, if you want to commit suicide, if you're too afraid to jump off a bridge, if you're too afraid, if you're too afraid to do this, watch. I'm gonna show you real quick. If you're feeling the blues and you're like, Gilbert, I want to do this. I want to do it. I just can't. I can't do it. All you have to do is watch the Nickel Boys, and that would push you over. If you like to smoke crack cocaine, if you like methamphetamines and you need a good place to go, crash, this is a perfect setting. It's yeah, 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 when they go into the movie theater and they see you all like this, I'm like, oh, he must be watching Nickel Boys, and you're all like bent over. Yeah, he'll get over it once the movie's over. It's bad. And all that gobblety shit that you're listening on the if you dare go to the other reviews and listen to all that stuff in the comment section, Those are the same people that will tell you that a man can get pregnant. I'm telling you, man. It's bad. Okay, I'm just she goes, I'll take your word, Gigi. I feel responsible now that you saw it since I told you I was gonna go see it. Yeah, and I really think she should donate. You should consider donating money uh to Gigi for GB. Consider. So again, if you need therapy, if you need help after having watched this movie, you can reach out to me. If you are sympathetic to human suffering, you can email me a PayPal and send me like whatever and to help for my recovery because I'm telling you this. Oh God, oh God, this movie was terrible, and I've seen some bad movies, but this was just it was just just terrible. And the thing that pisses me off is you had such a great book. You had such a great book. You had such a great story. It's like I told you, you have Cleopatra, right? Mark Antony and Cleopatra, the book. You have the Three Musketeers. You have Pride and Prejudice because Pride and Prejudice was on in that movie, right? So he's reading Pride and Prejudice while he's in the and and then a stupid line. But that's nor here nor there. But again, it just bad. Yeah, no, it is bad writing. I love Pride and Prejudice, and I prefer the 1940 movie with I think it's Maureen O'Hare, Sullivan. Darcy is played by Maurice O'Sullivan, the famous British actor. But here's the point, which he did a phenomenal job. But here's the point: the writing was spectacular. The movie was spectacular and you fell in love with the movie because of the beauty of the English language. So here, movies like that are perfect examples of great literary works, and then they move them over to great works of movie art. Well, here you have this great book, great potential to show America how the prison system in our country is broken, was broken, and needs to always be fixed and monitored because there's a lot of sadistic people in prisons, the bureaus of prisons. So you had this great opportunity and you flushed it down the toilet. That's what this movie does. That's what this movie does. All right, guys, that's all I have. There's a new comment, I guess. Eons Past, the book, Valley of the Dolls, great book. Okay. Okay. So yeah, you are responsible. I went to go see it because of because of what you said. So okay, guys, I'll see you later. And if I'm wrong, well then we can't be friends. So get the hell out. I don't want. Listen, I don't want to. If I don't want to be friends with you, if you tell me that the Nickel Boys movie was good, we can't be friends. The foundation of friendship is ruined if you think that this movie was good in any way. No, they destroyed the story. It was destroyed. And so much potential. I think I made my case. So no, we can't be friends. And now, if I ever date a girl, I'm gonna ask her, "Did you ever watch the Nickel movie? Watch it." And if she likes it, no. All right, see you guys later, man.